Amongst the new additions of Age of Sorcery Chapter 2 comes the new Stormglass Cathedral set, also called Stormglass Sanctum in-game. This set looks great, but is it any good? Well, let's take a look together. So firstly, of course, this set is available on the Bazaar. It costs 1200 Crom coins, exactly $10. If you're watching this in the first 28 days after Chapter 2 is released, it'll be the main item shown in the Bazaar. If you're watching this after the first 28 days and you haven't yet bought it, then in which case it will come back around at some point. The set includes 4 subcategories of items: floors and walls, pillars and stairs, windows and external pieces, and vaults and alcoves. I checked with Funcom just to make sure, and this is the entire building set. It's not split up like Sandstone Timber was. It seems they won't be splitting up sets again in the future, as a lot of people found it confusing, which is great to hear. To try this set out, I decided to build a cathedral of my own just from my mind without any planning, and this set is incredible. There are plenty of conventions broken, with massive double doors, curved window pieces, 2x2 circular windows, 4x4 pillars. This set has tons of new and interesting stuff. Stormglass has long been one of my favourite sets since it released, and I never really thought it needed an augmentation. However, Stormglass Cathedral really just elevates it that much higher. Of course, the intention with this set is to capture that fantasy Gothic vibe. It's definitely not historically accurate, at least from my knowledge, but it's clearly trying to capture that fantasy vibe, whilst also paying homage to classic Gothic architecture. Now, I've used 1 or 2 Gothic architecture mods before, and whilst they're great, they're also extremely fiddly to work with. I was worried this would be the case with Stormglass Cathedral too, but it's pretty easy to use. Even the most difficult things to use, like snapping the new giant pillar pieces together or using the corner alcove pieces, takes probably only a minute or 2 to get to grips with. I will say that one of the downsides here is that there aren't any tall sloping roof pieces for those classic Gothic towers. That would have been great to have, however that is probably the only criticism I can muster for the actual set pieces. It does initially feel like this set is designed for large buildings, but I do think it could work for medium-sized builds too, though I'm not sure how it would perform for smaller ones. I imagine it would be okay, but I don't think you'd get as much use out of the giant pillars, corner alcoves, etc. This set really does shine in the larger designs that have space and freedom to utilise all of those new features. I've also found that there are a few ways you can use this set to get some unique results. One example is that you can use the pillar pieces to create corner snapped exterior pillars on the outside of the build, which I didn't do in this design, but it would frame the design very nicely. You can also probably use the flying buttresses as nice flying decoration pieces, and there are plenty of other implementations I haven't found just yet. Of course, this set isn't perfect. One downside is that, much like regular Stormglass pieces, it does feel like you really have to plan out larger builds. Of course, that may sound obvious to some, but I am terrible for just building from my mind and slapping stuff together. Planning out your build ahead of time will undoubtedly result in a much better end product. I don't think that's necessarily a downside as such, but it is something that you'll have to keep in mind. The other downside is that this set, of course, wouldn't be as good without the regular Stormglass set. I'm not really sure how this set would work if you didn't already own Stormglass from the Siptar DLC, but I do feel like there would be some glaring gaps with what you can do. So, given my opinions thus far, is Stormglass Cathedral worth the money? I would say absolutely yes. This is probably one of the best made sets that Funcom have released to date. A clear amount of care and detail has gone into these building pieces. It's also a great choice not to split up building packs as they did last chapter with the Sandstone set, which should make things simpler and cheaper overall to obtain an entire building set. There is the downside of you possibly having a massive gap in what you're able to do if you don't already own the Siptar DLC, but if you do already own it, for $10 I think this is probably one of the best building sets Funcom have released. When it was announced, I was a tad disappointed to see that Chapter 2 seemingly only included one building set, but I am very happy to see that the time spent on Stormglass Cathedral has paid off. The set is incredible, and I honestly can't recommend it enough if you already own the regular Stormglass set. And there we have it, my review of the Stormglass Cathedral building set, available now in the Bazaar. Thanks for watching. I'll also have a review of the new Maze placeables coming this Sunday, but in the meantime I'm interested to hear what you guys think about the Stormglass Cathedral set if you've chosen to purchase it. If you enjoy my content, all the links to my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Patreon, Host Havoc affiliate page, NordVPN discount and NordPass discount are available in the description below. However, of course, you can simply just leave a like, a comment or subscribe. Any of those are very greatly appreciated. Patrons get a bunch of nice benefits, including sneak peeks of videos, your name in every video, custom made wallpapers in 1080p and 4K resolutions, full-size build blueprints, Discord roles and more. That being said, a massive thanks to all of our esteemed coffee cultists on screen now for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.